Good morning, everybody. Today I decided that we're gonna smoke some country style ribs. The first step that I do with any type of white meat, I eat pork or any poultry, is I brine it. It allows the cells to kind of break down and keep soaking any moisture, and it allows for you to have nice juicy tender meat instead of dry, especially if it's been frozen. So I've got 2 little packages of country style ribs, pork ones, 1/3 of a cup of salt, some meat tenderizer. This stuff is my favorite to use unless I'm using sour cream. Some apple cider vinegar and some white cooking wine and some hot water. So to start the brine, what we're going to do is we're going to add our salt. We're going to add probably about a tablespoon of this tenderizer. We're going to measure out 1/3 of a cup of the white cooking wine. Well, the wine's not necessary, but it does kind of give like a kind of sweetness to the meat. And then we're gonna go with probably about the same amount of vinegar. And then we're gonna add our hot water. That way we can dissolve everything. And then what we're just going to do is take our ribs and let them soak in that. We're going to try and get them completely covered, so I'm going to have to add more water when I'm done with this. We want it to stay cool, so I'm actually going to add a bunch of ice instead. But we're going to let this soak in the fridge for minimum 3 hours. You can do it overnight if you want to. Just realize that the longer you soak it, the saltier the meat is going to become. So I'll see you guys in 3 hours and we'll get ready to put it on the smoker. Alright, so we got our ribs brined and tenderized. You can see the flavor, the colors kind of come out of them. And we got the smoker preheating to 225. And what we're going to do is get our smoker set up so it doesn't dry out our meat and we got a lot of moisture. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a glass bowl and we're going to fill it, part of the way with water, part of the way with apple cider vinegar, and part of the way with your favorite whiskey. And of course, some for me. We're gonna put it right over wherever your heat source is. So I have an electric smoker and that's where my box is. And we're gonna take our ribs, which are still partially frozen, that's fine. If they can stand up, put them fatty side up. That way all the fat soaks down into the meat. Try not to let them fall over. And then we're going to seal her up. She's going to go in the smoker for 5 to 6 hours at 225. The other thing we have to do is prepare our wood chips. I've actually got pellets and they've been sitting in my garage for so long they're no longer pellets, so now it's just sawdust. And I like to do the same as I do with my bowl. The reason why I put the glass bowl over the heater coil is so it starts to evaporate, and you get a nice moist smoke versus a dry smoke. And then I also do that just because that's where most of the drippings are gonna. That's where I want the good drippings. That's where the smoke comes out of too. But the apple cider vinegar actually helps make the meat even more moist. And then the whiskey just gives it a nice flavor. But what I do is I take my apple cider vinegar and my whiskey and I mix it in to my sawdust. And that's a clumpy piece that I don't like. And then I'll take some more water and put it in here, and then once an hour you'll fill your tray up with your wood. Get some nice smoke going, and probably once every 2 hours you do a layer of the barbecue sauce. So I'll come back for when it's time to put some barbecue sauce on. Alright, so it's been a couple hours. My ribs will be done in about 3 hours, so I figured it's time to start putting barbecue sauce on. That's what they look like right now. And I'm using Alabama White BBQ Sauce. If you haven't tried it yet, it's amazing. Keep an eye on our page, and we'll make a video for a recipe one of these days. But we're just gonna drown our ribs and get a nice coating on everything. And we're gonna try and cover the entire rib. I usually like to do this probably 2 or 3 times, get a nice sticky and messy layering of sauce on every single one. And at this point, they've been cooking for so long, you don't really need to worry about if they fall over or any of that. Having issues. Alright, so we'll do another scoop of pellets and let that go for about an hour, and then come back and do another layer of barbecue sauce. Ta-da! Alright, so it's time to do another layer of barbecue sauce. We're gonna add some more pellets. This is my favorite part about opening up the smoker when it's been cooking. Get that
Oh geez, can't see nothing.
big wave of smoke and smell, and just it smells delicious, looks delicious. So we're gonna do probably one more layer after this, but then our ribs will be done. Alright everybody, I can't wait any longer. I'm super hungry and they smell super delicious, so I'm pulling them out. I got my plate, my pinchies.
I'm gonna stand back this time.
Here they are. Yummy, delicious country style pork ribs.
Is that plate just for you?
Yep, this is all my plate. Everybody else gets to starve. Okay, and last thing I like to do, other than dig in, to keep the smoker clean is I will set my temperature as high as it goes, which for me is 275, and then I'll set it to run for 8 hours, and that will evaporate any moisture in there. It'll also dry out and grease any grease that's stuck to the grill, so I got more flavor for next time. And I won't come back to next time I want to cook something to a smoker full of mold. That's not fun. But here we go. Country style ribs and Alabama white barbecue style. Yummy. Thanks for watching.